right, let's try this again. Of course, you know you're back on another journey to truth in life. Rocking with your boy, none other than MTAC, Mr. More Than a Conqueror, um, utilizing this power of truth to set you free from the chains of deception. Believe it or not, the world around you is an illusion, a prison for your mind. You've heard it in the movie The Matrix. Well, the rabbit hole goes deeper than you think. In the movie, you take a red pill and you wake up to the truth, or you take a blue pill and you go back to sleep. Many people have chose to take the blue pill, um, meaning going back to sleep. Those of us who have chosen the proverbial red pill, which is synonymous with the word of truth, the word of the Most High, we understand that we are indeed in spiritual warfare, and we see the uh, truth behind the lies. And there's a lot of lies. There's a lot of things that are happening here in America, and of course across the world. And many of you who come to my channel aren't necessarily um, looking for, a scriptural sermon. You're not looking for that. You want to know uh, what is happening, who's attacking you, why they're attacking you, and most of all, how they're attacking you. All of those questions can be answered in these scriptures. But for those of you who are looking for um, worldly or scientific answers, I do have a little something for you. And I'm going to read this today, or attempt to read it. Is getting somewhat dark outside, so I have limited light, and my glasses are broke, so I won't be able to see as clearly as I would like to. Hopefully, we do have good audio, because I'm going to attempt to um, read this for you guys the best that I can. And I think you'll find the information on this informatory that I've been passing out for years very um, interesting. Very interesting. I need to know before we get started. I would definitely say read the book of Ephesians, chapter 6, starting around verse 10. Um, it says, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty in tearing down strongholds of the enemy. So you have to have your spiritual armor on. You have to have your spiritual weapons ready, and we'll talk about that in a later video. It also goes on to say in verse 12 that we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, rulers of darkness and evilness in this wicked world. So um, what I'm going to read is going to be mind blowing. It's going to talk about some of these scientific, technological weapon developments, etc., being utilized against the people in this warfare. But you have to understand the spirit that motivates these people not only to create these devices, but to utilize them. We're dealing with evil spirits. Only an evil spirit would entice or motivate a person to do the things that targeted individuals are experiencing. So, as soon as I can get some light going here, I believe that might work. We'll start reading, and hopefully, you can read along. Um, this is what it says. It says the FBI and NSA psychopaths are conducting these non consensual, meaning you don't have to consent to it, secret illegal, sadistic, perverted, and psychopathic synthetic telepathy. Now, this is synthetic telepathy is your V2K, your brain mapping, all this stuff. This is why they're trying to predict where you're going to go, what you're going to do, etc. Trauma-based mind control. This is why many of you experience the directed energy weapons, etc. They're trying to get a brain impulse response that they can record. And this kind of details it. So I'm going to stop giving my commentary and just read. It says synthetic telepathy experiments and psychoelectronic weapons attacks on hundreds of thousands of innocent American citizens. It says the Pentagon and the U.S. intelligence agency called the NSA, or National Security Agencies, the SSC, or the Central Secret Service, the DIA, or the Defense Intelligence Agency, DARPA, which is the Defense Advanced Research Project Agency, CIA, Central Intelligence Agencies, Department of Homeland Security, and the FBI, Federal Bureau of Investigation, Counterintelligence Program. So all of these have counterintelligence programs, which is what we're going through. And if you don't know what the COINTELPRO program is, look it up. Spreading of lies, rumors, defamation, how to destroy persons socially, financially, mentally, in every aspect of their life. That's what the counterintelligence program was for. The counterintelligence program unit has extremely top secret technology that can pick up on the private thoughts given by an individual and the vibrations produced by the brain's electrical pulses. And these thoughts can be broadcasted by means of microwave transceivers, infrasound, and ultrasound transceivers, satellites, and other forms of technology which uses electromagnetic transfers. An example would be television, radio, the internet, and the telephone. The Pentagon calls this mind reading technology synthetic telepathy, or mind reading technology. They want to be like God. Remember, continuing, although there is nothing paranormal about it at all, it is something spiritual about it. I disagree. The NSA, or the National Security Agency, is part of the U.S. Department of Defense, and a very secretive part at that. The NSA has a black budget. If you don't know what a black budget is, it means all their expenses, how much money they get, how much money they spend, where they spend it, how they spend it is not accounted for. That's what a black budget is. So the NSA has a black budget and is always headed by a flag officer from the branches of the U.S. military. The top secret technology available to the U.S. military is usually 30 years or maybe even more ahead of the technology which is available to the U.S. citizen economy, which means whatever you buy over the market, their technology is 30 years more advanced than that. Who is to know among the general U.S. public what the level of technological development within these secret laboratories of the NSA and DARPA, which is Defense Advanced Research Project Agencies. The headquarters of the National Security Agency is located in Fort George Meade in the U.S. state of Maryland. Today, there are microscopic computer chips based on nanotechnology, sounds like the vaccine, which can be inserted into a person by means of injection capsules to the filling with or without the knowledge of the doctor or pharmacist. And these computer chips can track the implanted person by radio or microwave. These microscopic computer chips can also be made invisible to detect by means of CAT scan or computerized axial tomography. MRI, which is magnetic resonance imaging, and PET, which is positron emission tomography, scans by some means of electromagnetic disguise, meaning it's highly advanced technology. Continuing with the latest top secret and rapid technological advancements available to the U.S. military intelligence agencies, the need for microscopic computer implants in conducting synthetic telepathy against target individuals is obsolete by now, meaning the technology have advanced beyond RFID chips, etc. Rather, the system of subliminal, subconscious, wireless, microwave, remote control is used today against targeted individuals suffering from synthetic telepathy harassment. Um, this means that they're able to pick up on your bio frequencies. This is why come they need your DNA, etc., in order to fine tune your personal biosignature, your DNA, to the technology or the supercomputers. Uh, moving on. Um, let me find. Let me reread that. It says rather a system of um, subliminal, subconscious, wireless, microwave, um, control is used today against targeted individuals suffering from synthetic telepathy harassment. Synthetic telepathy is used for conducting torture training, and or experimentations against people as red herring, good cop, bad cop. Many of you who complain about the voice to skull, you know, say that they often use the red herring narrative in their commentations or commentary to you. Good cop, bad cop, or tough love act. You know, it's, uh, diversions, fiance, decoys, smoke screens, as smear campaigns by association, as openly secret intimidation campaigns against targeted dissidents, and as a means of espionage. This is a crime, which once it was believed that claims about the CIA agencies secretly dumping radioactive material in the slums of the U.S. cities during the 1950s as part of a research project was simply conspiracy theory. Now, they are always calling us conspiracy theorists. Now, in the 1950s, people were saying that, these agencies were dumping radioactive material in the slums of America. Uh, Goes on to say they could call them conspiracy theorists back then. Said these people are crazy. In the 1950s and the 1960s, they called them conspiracy theorists until the U.S. federal government in the 1990s, so 40, 30 years later, publicly admitted that the allegation was true. Same way that we're raising our voice and telling them what's happening, and they're trying to reduce us to conspiracy theorists. It's a repetitive story here in America, all the way back to smallpox. As far back as America's been a nation, these non consensual, inhumane, demonic acts have been taking place against humanity. Uh, Let me continue. It says the FBI and the NSA, who are part of a secret U.S. society. Anytime you see an alphabet crew, it's a secret society. Um, you know, I've mentioned this before. So the FBI and NSA agents who are part of secret U.S. society are genetically inclined sociopaths and psychopaths who work as hitmen, torturers, sexual abusers. Many of you are being raped and sexually abused, stalkers, slanderers, and agent provocateurs involved in murders and tortures of hundreds of thousands of innocent U.S. citizens for years. Um, And I don't know if you guys can hear that through the microphone. As I'm reading this, they want to shoot guns in my environment as if I'm scared. Your boy's not scared. M- My fate is sealed in the Most High. I don't worry about this old dirty body. You know what I mean? It's going to go back to the dirt anyway. So eh, shooting a gun in my vicinity is not going to scare me at all. I am not scared. I'm going to continue to read because the people need to know. You guys need to know this, and I'm going to put it out there. So um, it says, once again, the FBI and the NSA and every other alphabet group um, agencies are part of a secret U.S. society. They are genetically inclined sociopaths and psychopaths who work as hitmen, torturers, sexual abusers, stalkers. All this is true. Slanderers and agent provocateurs involved in murder or depopulation campaigns, tortures of hundreds of thousands of U.S. American citizens for years and years. At the last count, there was over 50,000 NSA spies who are businessmen, priests, community leaders in all walks of life who are spying and keeping tabs on pretty much all Americans. Told you the enemy come as an angel of light. These agents, they're disguised as businessmen and women, priests. You go to the church, they have crept into the churches. Shout out to Pastor Daniel, who always repeat that. Um, they're in the mosque too. So, hey, you're not safe there. If you're Muslim, you're watching my channel, yes, they're in the mosque. Why do you think they allow you guys to build or fund you guys, rather, to build these multi-billion-dollar churches in mosque? Um, if you're part of the Hebrew camp, they have even crept into the camps as well. Why do you think many of them are standing on the street corners making people like myself, who know my nationality as an Israelite, was born into a family where my mother and my grandmother taught me my nationality at a young age, is having to be misrepresented by babbling buffoons in the middle of the streets who's pretty much trying to give a bad look to the gathering of the true children and nation of Israel. Continuing though, just had to insert that um, they're in all walks of life who are doing what? Spying. There's, let me see if I can't zoom in. Spying and keeping tabs on pretty much all Americans. The synthetic telepathy, espionage trainees, psychopaths, sadomasochistic torturers, slanderers, and experimentators and spies in order to avoid developing any sympathy for the targeted individuals, deliberately avoid actually feeling the emotions of their victims by following the swiggly EEG. So, shout out to DB, Gangstalking Simulations, who are always talking about EEG. He's actually right on that part. Swiggly EEG or electroencephalograph lines on computer monitored screens as well. Let's see, they're in my device. Hey, you guys, they're in my device. So I'm going to have to end this. I figured they would jump in my device. I'm not sure if you guys can hear me or not, but I'm currently being hacked. But the truth of the matter is, the United States government has done the most heinous, inhumane acts against the American people. You guys who are complaining about this aren't crazy. You're being driven crazy. They're driving you crazy, but you're not crazy. This is literally what is happening here in America and unfortunately across the western portions of the world. Uh, these same campaigns in illegal, non-consensual experimentations are being conducted in various parts of Europe, most of Europe, as well as Australia, South America, and India, and there are several other locations where you will find victims. See, Uniquely Made Warrior in the building. Hey, what's going on? Queen Unique is in the building. Are you able to hear me? Because I've been getting hacked, and so I'm just trying to see if the audio is still on. Can you respond if the audio is on? Let me know. Okay, so you guys can hear me. They are hacking into my device, so um, not even sure what to do. I want to end this broadcast right now because who knows? They're probably trying to plant something on my device as they normally do, which isn't going to help them any because what I do is a factory reset and I come right back at bigger and better than ever. Says I can hear you. Okay, thank you. Unique, they are in my device. They're messing with my apps right now, so I'm going to have to end this live stream, and I'll try to come back. But they are definitely in my device. I have things popping up that I'm not even clicking on. So uh, I'm going to have to end this live stream, you guys. But hopefully, you realize that these non consensual experimentations are taking place. They are injecting nanotechnology into the bodies of many American and non-Americans across the world. This technology, which is being introduced to the body, is being used to not only gather information about your bios, it's also being used to introduce new information. And this is nothing new, you guys. During the 19 testing phase, when they were trying to run a test trial, many people were forced to have to do virtual doctor visits. And these virtual doctor visits was just a dry run where they could, kind of test or a test run. They wanted to test to see how accurate the technology already in many Americans actually was. From your home, they're able to read your blood pressure, um, not only your mind, but all your bios, your heart rate, um, whether you're asleep or awake. So whether you're in an alpha wave or beta wave, etc., they're able to induce these things, even administer medications against your will. And this is where we are. Don't believe me? Go look it up. People have short-term memory, but less than a year ago, all this was the new norm. When you were sitting at home, when your grandmother was sitting at home, and they were telling you that she couldn't come to the doctor's office, how was she interacting? Through technology? And it was way more deeper than the average mind can wrap itself around. Anyway, they're still in my device, so your boy's going to have to get out of here. Till next time, keep your eyes open and don't be scared of these punks. They were just shooting guns over here, as if I'm supposed to be scared. Your boy ain't never scared. Call me Bone Crusher, because I ain't never scared. Anyway, till next time, you guys stay woke. If you're not woke, wake up so you too can be blessed. But MTAC has got to be his out.